Hey everybody, thanks for watching. I finally got my clubs from DST. So if you guys have been watching the channel, I've been going through a lot of things trying to get this Y look at impact. So the Y is a lowercase y, like that. See that? So Y, like that at impact. Like all the best ball strikers in the world have all ever had. So I was talking to Birdie from DST Compressor. This is his company, and he sent me 4 compressor clubs. Actually, he sent me 2 compressor clubs. You'll see these. This is an 8-iron, and this is a wedge. And then he sent me 2 clubs he calls transition clubs, which are called CR10s. On these clubs, the only difference about these is they have this big giant bottom on the bottom, which is not for game improvement reasons. It's for if you lay it flat on the ground, it leans it forward. And if you hit it without shaft lean, it'll bounce and thin the ball. So you gotta have it leaning forward. And the most important thing on these clubs, on all 4 of these clubs, is it has these lines here that you take that line and you point it towards your eyes, and that's where it should be at impact, right there. So not up and down like you would think, it's gotta be like that. So what this video is gonna be, this is really like, I hit these clubs just a couple times right after I got them, like 20 balls or so. What we're gonna do is a before and after session. I got my slow motion camera set up over here. A before and after session of, can this club train me to get more shaft lean and impact with my regular clubs? I don't want to only have it, with these clubs. I want to be able to do it. So before we get into anything else, let's do a before video. This is my before swing. That was a good shot. Faded just a little bit, but it'd be just to the right of whatever flag stick I was shooting at. So let's see what this looks like. Okay, there we go. All right, so I've been working on it some, and that is looking pretty good to my eye right now. Okay, so we're gonna take a picture of that. The only thing I would like to change is the ball position should be a little bit more forward, and my hands should be more forward too at impact. So Birdie, when I talked to him, the inventor of these clubs, had said to me that the number one thing that people get wrong when they get these clubs is they just start hitting big full shots at first off the bat. So it's very boring to just hit little chip shots, but I'm trying to do this the correct way and have the right feels. Okay, so this is not the compressor one, the bent one. This is the CR10 one. So all I'm gonna do is put that white line that's there and put it where it feels like it's going straight up and down there. And just try to hit some little pitch shots. And my initial impressions of these, just to key you guys in before we really get into it, is I was surprised I hit the wedges pretty well, and I hit the 8-iron CR10, the transition club, the straight one, pretty well. But the bent backwards 8-iron compressor is very difficult. It is really hard to do, which shows me that somewhere with at slower speed, I'm keeping lag tension. That was a good one. But as I start to try to hit it harder, something in my sequence or something is letting the lag out early, dumping the groceries out on the floor before you get them home, as some people have said. All right, so that's okay. So let's go to the compressor wedge. This is the bent backwards one. That was good. And unfortunately, even at 240 frames a second in good lighting, like we have today, and my iPhone's 240 frames a second, that's not even nearly fast enough to make sure that you can get the moment of impact every time. Birdie who put all those cool impact images of guys when we saw, you know, basically you want the club to come in line with your left forearm after impact, and everybody else is getting the club in line with their left forearm before. But his camera is like, has a really nice sensor on it, very expensive, and like I think it's got at least 1,000 frames a second. I think up at that 1,000 frames or so is what you need, but you also need a good sensor too. Okay. You definitely feel the difference, because normally the thing that got me messed up with the impact zone, Bobby Clampett's book, where I was really concentrating on getting a 4-inch in front swing bottom, I started digging these huge divots and really hitting down too hard. With these, you can feel that your swing bottom's in front, but it feels a lot more shallow. Especially on these tempoed out wedges. It's a really crisp, good feeling. Because the main goal is not to be able to hit these clubs, these bent backwards clubs, with lag tension. The main goal is to be able to do it with your own clubs. That was a good one. And in doing it, I have noticed there is a strong correlation to keeping, for me anyway, between keeping lag tension and length of backswing. If my backswing gets too long and the swing gets behind myself, it's really easy to then let it get broken at impact and not get that Y, that lowercase y we want. Okay, that was good. All right, so let's go to the transition club 8-iron, the CR10 8-iron. That's this one. See, it's straight. And that was a big surprise for me too, that I'm glad I got all 4 clubs, because these clubs, the CR10 clubs, were the biggest surprise to me, were how important they are when it goes to hitting the bent backwards club well, and then like eventually getting that into your irons. This is just transition clubs important. So what I'm trying to do is get this line that's here, hard to see for you guys, but obvious for me. Trying to get that line pointed straight up to my nose, straight up and down. And certainly at impact, see how that line then is again straight up and down. So it's gonna be a kind of like a 3/4 shot here. That's basically a full shot, but that had lag tension. All right, so let's see what it looks like. Well, let's take the high-speed camera, the iPhone, slow-mo, and hit a CR10 shot here, and see what the shaft lean looks like with the CR10 before we get into the compressor. All right, that was great. So you can see it address. I mean, it's a kind of reminiscent of Nicklaus or Stenson would have that kind of forward lean at address. Takeaway, I could have a little less of that snatch. And going through. All right, more so than the iron, it's leaning forward. But still, that's a ways off from where I want it to be. That is not. So we're going to the most extreme case of this is the compressor, the 8-iron compressor. Because I found that I can hit the wedge well, either one, I can hit that one well, but this one is difficult. And if it starts, the main thing is you'll hit pull hooks, and you'll know that you're not leading you're not getting the hands there first if you're hitting pull hooks. Because if it comes in line with your left arm early, the toe shuts down and it flicks into the ball with a shut face. If you can really drive everything in sequence, then you can hit straight bullets with this. That was a good shot. Drawing just a little bit. The ultimate shot, the ultimate difficulty with this is to be able to hit push draws with this club. I haven't even tried to hit cuts with it, but if you can hit push draws with this club, rather than, that one was pure, but it was straight draw. Straight, and then drew like 2 yards left, which even in real life I know how to do that shot. So what I want is to start right at that yellow flagging, but then come back. Okay, that was fat. Okay, and this is the main difference I'll say in my journey with Be Better Golf and coming to how to keep this, because my first question in Be Better Golf was, how do I get more shaft lean and impact? You guys saw the no turn and cast video and the other videos there, some of the first videos on the channel. And I had always been, and even in some of the literature for the compressor, they tell you to rotate your body hard and hold angles. And I had always tried to do that, and I was never able to retain lag by holding angles or trying to make other parts of my body go slower. The only way I was able to improve that was actually by speeding up the hands and really speeding up the right arm. So I think the best way to try to hit this club with lag tension, without it flipping left, is to, when you get to the top, feel that right arm really being let out. And then the other crucial part of that too is, once you feel this being let out, you have to let the body really freely respond to that. If you're like arms first, yes, but then if you're arms only and you don't accelerate this part of your body forward, you're gonna be good, and then it's gonna go to sleep, and you're gonna end up standing it up just real late in your swing, rather than good and then keep it going. So that's the kind of the 1-2 of it. The hands well forward at impact. That was okay, but anytime you pull this club, you know that even if it's solid, you lost the lag tension. As soon as you pull it, you know that, or the ball starts left of where you wanted it to, you know that you came here, your hands kind of stopped, and then the club, see how it just shuts down. See, if I go here and I stop the hands and the club keeps going, see how shut that is? If I keep the hands and club going together, see, that's nice and square. So that's the goal. It's okay, not bad. All right, let's film one. Let's try to get a good impact here. Keep it going, don't stop. I can see what Eddie Barron's meant by swing the handle, because if you watch, if I do here and the handle stops, you don't want that. If I just swing the handle and keep that moving forward, I can see what he meant. At a golf show once, I got a quick lesson from him. Okay. All right, that was a straight draw, straight push draw, a little bit. Take a picture of that. But you can see at impact with my 8-iron, my 8-iron, the wedge, the CR10, and then this one, it's barely any different. So I'm really gonna work on trying to get it lower and lower. And that's the reason I like doing these super long videos for whoever has the attention span for it on my website. Because like I might put up a version of this on just the regular YouTube page, but I'll put up this entire video on BeBetterGolf.net, because really working through the kinks can help people, I think. Most times you just see the before and the after and none of the what's in between, which is really where the difference lies, right? All right, gotta get this ball started there. That's straight, but one-handed. All right, so I think the key to doing this well, this I think is the key to being able to do this, is you can do it at slow speed. Like if I hit one that way, you can kind of see. You can do one at slow speed. And you can see in that replay how forward the hands are. And it feels super solid. But at some point of effort or point of miles per hour that I'm moving the club, it stops being the hands leading the club head into impact, and it starts being the club head starts overtaking the hands into impact at some speed. And really you can tell somebody's handicap, really the closest way is how close to the ball are the hands and club getting in line. Now if they're a really good player, it's there and then after the ball, and in really bad players it lines up somewhere back here, and then everyone else in between is usually, like, I know from watching my swing in slow-mo, even looking back on the channel, when I started the channel I was about here. I'd have it in line and then I'd flick it in to the ball, and now I'm about, if that's the ball, I'm about here, it's in line, and then I flick it in the ball, and I want to get up here. So okay, that was a good shot, solid. And then talking to him, he is super about exaggeration. So for him, I suppose he would say, now take this, put it forward in your stance, and hit a really low shot. That was low, but it was low and left. The left part of that could have been the forward in your stance part. Ooh. And the temptation with this, of course, is to just hit the compressor 100,000 times until you can do it, but you really should be flip-flopping. That was a shorter swing. That was damn good. Wow, that was good. And I'm dropping a lot of names, but whenever you play golf, you think of all the different teachers you've had and lessons that you've had. But one of the things Tony says, which he's absolutely right about, is the quality of your impact is a direct result of the quality of your transition. So if you want good impact here, it's not because of something you did at impact, it's because of something you did up here. And that, I think, I had just a fantastic transition. Short backswing and fantastic transition. All right, that was a little bit of a block. Now I'm gonna go to my regular club. Now this is the one thing I have to ask Birdie about. These clubs. I have noticed that when I do start getting more shaft lean and I start hitting that club well, and then I flip over to my regular club, this is my regular 8-iron now, I have noticed that you hit dead solid blocks. And if I just go here and I lean the shaft forward, see how the face is open now. So you do need some sense of, is that supination, or, you know, kind of like Dustin Johnson, Daniel Berger feeling into the ball. But I'm just gonna try to hit this as if I have that compressor in my hand. Yeah, that was dead solid, blocked like 2 yards, but that was so much more solid than that first test one. Then the other real important thing, which is why I think it's great that you guys are watching this much of the video, the real important thing to learn when you're getting better is when you hit good shots, even more so than when you hit bad shots, when you hit good shots, you really got to be like an inquisitor to yourself, like a, you know, you got to be like a prosecutor to yourself, asking yourself hard questions about, hey, what did you do to get that good feeling? So I just hit an awesome compressor shot, it felt compressed, and then an awesome 8-iron shot, and that's the goal. We want to bring, and they both felt great. And the big difference there was I felt, if I was to answer my own question, I felt it stop around here was the end of my backswing. In reality, it probably went way past that, but I felt it stop here, and from there, I really felt this being let out, and then this finishing it. So arm, and then this finishing it. Yeah, and it's like I said in one of the videos, it's all green lights. It's no holding anything back. It's not that I'm holding my lower body still, it's just there. I'm starting it, starting the downswing with my arms and then finishing it with my body. That was good, real good. And you can start to, if you start to tune yourself, you can start to feel like when that flick moment happens, flick being when the left arm and club head comes into line, when they're in line, and then once the head of the club passes your arm, hopefully somewhere out here, you can start feeling that's when would be like a flicking impact and not compressing impact. So there I could feel, it was a good shot, and then I could feel right after the shot, there was some of that flick. The best shots feel like it just never flicked. It just stayed compressed all the way to the end. The hand stayed in front of the club all the way to the end. Yeah, that one was good. All right, let's film one with the compressor, try to get a better down the line or face on compressor shot. Okay, that was good. Felt like I caught it in front of myself. Now I'm gonna try to do that with just my 8-iron. Because I'm not looking to go from my own swing to Rory McIlroy in this one session, but I'm certainly looking for improvement. I'm looking for, okay, photo evidence. Oh, that's thin garbage, which is probably healed, almost shanked. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna go here. Okay, we're gonna flip-flop that to go with this one down the line. Here, here. Okay, let's see what that looks like. No. That was not good enough. I'm not letting myself off on that standard. Let's get it really good. A solid block is not good enough. Compressed and straight. Come on. Compressed and straight. It's better. Did go slightly left, which tells me that I let the leg out. But let's see. So I want it more up on my leg, even much more. I mean, that's whatever. I wanted to end this video, but that's not good enough. Come on now. Let's do it. So you get the feeling and then you lose it. That's why you got to really cherish those moments when you get the feeling and then try to cement that feeling in your mind. So when I had it, I was here, like that, like, it's almost. There we go. better. That was a low drive with this club. Okay. Hit it solid, same thing. Little left. Which is not ideal. But part one is solid. We'll get part two eventually. Okay, now with the regular club. All right, let's, that, no, that was terrible. Trying to get a decent flip-flop here. So this is the tough part with transitioning from training aid to regular club. The part that everyone misses. Oh, should probably be using the CR10, but that's okay. Here. Oh, that was so good. I'm so glad I caught that one. Okay, I don't care anything else. I'm glad I caught that one. Swung more to first base. Good control at the top. Why can't I do that every time? That was awesome. All right, now let's get it again here. Here, back to the target, swing to first base. Yeah, that was good. Not as good as the compressor, but still very good. We're so good recording. All right, this was the compressor. This was the best compressor of the day. We didn't quite get impact. We can see that I didn't hold the lag after impact very well, but so it was definitely leading into impact. And I grabbed the other club. That's a good shot. Is that an improvement from, let's look. No BS. Is that an improvement from what I came here with? All right, that's what I came here with right after impact, okay? And that's pretty good. But we can see the shaft is not really leaning forward. That's just so slightly after impact. And that's what it is now, which is just so slightly after impact still. The shaft's leaning forward a little bit more. It's like, it's degrees. I'll have to put a mirror image next to each other. But it's degrees. It is better though. I would confidently say the shaft's leaning forward more there. It's like that much. It's so little. And little changes are hard work though. But I'm here, back to the target, swinging to first base and finishing it. That was really good. I think those are going to be real good key swing thoughts for me. Good ball position. I was hearing this one pro talk about the difference between good shots and bad shots for amateurs. Like 85, 90% of the time, the difference between your good shots and your bad shots is just your ball position. It's just you're not being consistent enough in where you put the ball in your stance. All right, so I'm gonna get there, back to the target, swing to first base. I like that one. I actually like that one. Because I'm used to hitting solid pulls, when I hit solid slight blocks, I actually really like it. Shows that I'm changing the pattern a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna do one more on my camera. That's kind of what I wanted to do. I don't know, that ball was way forward in my stance. I don't know why on camera it's looking like the ball's so far back at my stance. It's really annoying. So I'm gonna put this up and everybody's gonna say, oh, why do you have the ball so far back in your stance? I did not. Really made an effort to get it forward in my stance. All right, I don't want my final shot to look like the ball is so far back in my stance. Maybe it is. I mean, I don't. I'm gonna put this thing pretty far forward in my stance. I mean, that is way up in my stance. Okay. That was a pull, but it was way far up in my stance. Okay, there. It's like, that's far up in my stance. I don't know. Okay. There. Oh man, that was good. That felt like driver ball position. All right, so just quickly go to compressor impact. Yeah, that felt so far forward in my stance, man. It didn't come off looking like that at all. Oh yeah, look at that leg going into impact. Oh, that's beautiful. Man, all right, good. I think we're on to something here. We may got a video in the works here. Okay, that actually wasn't my best shot, but changing that ball position. Look at that look. Okay, leaning forward. Let's go to what can I do with the 8-iron. This I'm really interested to see. Yeah, how do you like that? See, it's leading into impact. Keeping leg tension, and then there. That's good. You notice it's not as much as the compressor, but as far as a before and after, the closest frame I have to impact is the one just before. Yeah, and that's a big difference. That's a big difference. So ball position's key. All right, so what did we learn here? Because I did make some improvement here. It was hard, but if you stuck with me for this whole video, congratulations. But I did learn something big here. First of all, ball position is huge. If you put the ball too far back in your stance and you go forward this way, you have to let it out in order to get back to the ball. Make sure, like, look at that Ben Hogan chart is what I'm thinking of, because that's like here, and then he just changes his stance width, right? Then the other thing that's huge too is the transition, which is back to the target and swing to first base like this, and then finish it with your body. That was like a marathon. Thanks for sticking with it, guys. I'm really impressed by these DST clubs. I think they're great. They'll show you things and let you feel things that you really would be totally counterintuitive. You really would not be able to feel what it's like to have your hands so far forward at impact just by hitting your straight clubs. It's something that's really, really valuable. So definitely, more so than I did in this video, find the point from small shots to big shots. Find the point at which your impact starts to break down. I really recommend that you shoot with your camera face on too. And because sometimes you'll feel like you're squishing it and you're doing it well, but you're not. If you guys are interested in getting these clubs, just for Be Better Golfers, we have a special discount that Birdie gave to Be Better Golfers. If you go to dstgolf.com and you click on, if you're in Europe or in the USA, if you go to dstgolf.com, we have the promo code DSTBetterGolf, and that will give you the 15% off discount to any of their 4 products. So try that out. All right, guys. See you later. Bye.